and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Monday, the 14th of July 2025. Wow, we've got an action-packed, stuffed video today. There's so much news that's come out. We're going to start off with this. We actually got Zak Sturge deal completed. It was announced this morning at 8 a.m. What a time to announce a signing. Yes. This is from southernnews.co.uk, but it has been confirmed on Millwall's official website. Millwall complete deal for Chelsea defender. Millwall complete the sign of Chelsea left-back Zak Sturge for an undisclosed fee. Sturge signed a long-term deal with the club. The 21-year-old first joined the Lions on loan in the January transfer window, made 5 appearances in all competitions, starting the final 3 games of the season. Sturge started his career at Creative Football Academy before joining Brighton and Hove's Albion's Academy in 2019. He then moved to Chelsea in 2022, where he trained with the first team and made 5 appearances for their under-21 side in the EFL Trophy. The former England under-18 international went out on loan to League One side Peterborough in the 23-24 season, making 15 appearances. We're so pleased to bring Zak in on a permanent basis, Mill Director of Football Steve Gannon told the club's website. He came in on loan in January, and whilst we knew how good of a player he was, Joe Bryan was playing exceptionally well, and therefore Zak was unable to get many opportunities on the pitch. When he did come in, though, he was excellent. He played in the last 3 games of the season and was very good too. Everyone knows Zak now and how he is as a player, and he has got a very good left foot and loves to get forward. But he's also good in 1v1 situations defensively. He's also very good personality around the training ground, and it's a good signing for the club. It shows the direction that we're going in. We signed a backup left back. Cool. What took so long? Don't know. We'll find out in the future. The poison pill. Hopefully not. So, let's have a little look at this. This is from, again, the southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil explains why Millwall's new signing Zak Sturge has a really high ceiling and how he plans to help him reach it. Well, I presume that he's not talking about his actual house. Alex Neil believes Millwall's latest signing, Zak Sturge, has a really high ceiling. The 21-year-old left-back joined the Lions permanently from Chelsea today, following a loan spell at SC16 in the latter half of last season. Sturge made 5 appearances in all competitions for Neil's side and started each of the final 3 league games as Millwall's late playoff push fell just short away at Burnley on the final day of the season. Neil hopes to help Sturge reach what he sees to be considerable potential. I think he's got a really high ceiling, Alex Neil said. He was brought for quite a bit of money 2 or 3 years ago, going to Chelsea as a young kid coming from Brighton. And he broke in towards the tail end of last year, and I think with every game that he played, he's gained confidence. I think he gained understanding. He's 6 foot, he's athletic, he's good on the ball. He's got a good manner about him, and he's a really nice lad, and he trains hard. What we'll try and do is, just give him game exposure and also to just try and get some more game understanding and experience into him. When he puts those bits together, then we're hopeful that we've got a really good young and up-and-coming left-back. Every relationship, whether it be me and the player or the club and the player, it's a 50-50 relationship, isn't it? We'll live up to our part, we'll spend a lot of time trying to help you, and we'll make sure that we try and develop you, and we'll teach you in terms of whether it be the tactics, and we'll work on your technique and all that sort of stuff. And the other 50%, it's got to come from the player themselves, by the way. So nobody gets a free ride, nobody gets in the team just purely because we've signed you to try and make you better. Your job is to make sure that you turn up every day, you perform, you try as hard as you can, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to play well every game. But what we're going to do is, we're not just going to bring you in and if you play 1 or 2 bad games, we're going to throw you out. We believe in your talent and we want to try and hone in it and improve it. Hopefully you'll become a key player for us as the time develops. So I think that's the message to all the young players. But equally, we need balance. You need to make sure you get some good seasoned pros in there that know what the league's about, know what the level is, and can get themselves churning through the game. Joe Bryan, for instance, is a great example, certainly for me. Since I came in at the end of last year, I thought Joe's a really strong performer. And I think that's good in the fact that they've got competition between the two of them. And it shouldn't hopefully drive both of them to sort of excel, by the way. Neil confirmed that Sturge was not currently in Millwall squad in Spain, as the club still needed to do testing. And I think everyone who's involved in the testing is out in Spain. I don't know why they can't go in there and they can't test him out there, but, you know, what it is, what it is. Sturges Mill's first signing of the summer following the free agent signing of goalkeeper Max Cocom and a club record deal for striker Josh Coburn, who was also on loan at the club last season. We had Josh last year, Neil said. I think he's got different qualities and strengths from all the other forwards we've got. He's more of a target. He's 6'4". He can take the ball in and he can score a goal and then he can run. Again with Josh, you know, our job is to try and help him put his game together in terms of his link up, his timing, his runs, his effectiveness in front of goal. When he does that, you know, it'll be a real force to be reckoned with in the Championship. But then again, you know, we've got really good competition in that area of the pitch. Do we though? We've got Coburn and Ivanovic. Ivanovic can't play up front on his own. I would say Coburn could. I think Coburn could play up front on his own. He did okay the other day when it was him up front with Langstaff behind him. Again, Langstaff up front on his own, probably not. Doubt it. Nisbet, we don't know. We haven't seen him. He plays well for Hibernian and Aberdeen, but once he steps out of Scotland, it doesn't seem to work out for him. So, do we have strong competition in that area? Don't know. Don't think so. Now, Alex Neil mentioned about, you know, solid pros there. We may be about to sign a solid pro. This was, I believe, broken by the East Anglia Daily Times. So Ipswich Town, Mill eyeing Massimo Luongo move. Yes, Mill eyeing a move for former Ipswich Town midfielder Massimo Luongo. Mill are keen on signing former Ipswich Town midfielder. Following his Portman Road departure, the East Anglia Times and the Ipswich Star understands that the 32-year-old has recently been training with the Lions with a view to a permanent move to South London ahead of the 25-26 campaign. Luongo joined the Blues back in January 2023 after a difficult spell at Middlesbrough, where he failed to make an appearance. He played a pivotal role in Town's promotion from League One, doing the same again in 23-24 as they went on to reach the Premier League. So he got 2 promotions with Ipswich. Luongo made just 11 appearances in the top flight, leading to an emotional farewell against West Ham on the final day of last season, with his departure confirmed beforehand. Luongo could now be in line for a move to Millwall, finished 8th in the Championship in 24-25, missing out on a place in the playoffs on the final day of last season. Alex Neil's side are expected to challenge for a top 6 finish once again next season. They host Ipswich on Boxing Day, visiting Portman Road on March the 21st, 2026. So there you go. And we actually have more news. This is from southernnews.co.uk. He's out there in Spain. So this seems to be, you know, is this like a trial? Is this just like come out and play with us in Spain? See how you like it. We'll see how we like you. Bit of a sniff test, and then, you know, if you like it, we can sign. We don't know. Will he play in the game tomorrow? Will he play in any of the games? We don't know. So yeah, he trains with Millwall in Spain. Free agent midfielder Massimo Luongo has been training with Millwall and is currently with the squad at their pre-season training camp in Spain. News that then understands. The 32-year-old spent the last 2.5 seasons with Ipswich Town and helped them secure successive promotions to reach the Premier League. The Australian international made 11 top-flight appearances in 24-25. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll show you. Luongo would add experience to Mill's midfield following the departure of George Saville and George Honeyman earlier this summer after their contracts expired. Luongo joined Tottenham Hotspur as a teenager and made his first team debut in 2011 before signing for Swindon Town in 2013. He had spells at Queen's Park Rangers, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough before joining Ipswich in January 2023. Luongo made his debut for Australia in 2014 and has since earned 45 caps, scoring 6 goals. He was part of the Socceroos squads at the 2014 and 2018 World Cups and was named player of the tournament at the 2015 AFC Asia Cup, which Australia won, with Luongo scoring in the final against South Korea. And I believe he has I don't think he's played for Australia since 2023. So he's not a current international. And I don't think, I think he's probably getting on a bit at the moment. We're going to have a little look. So let's have a little look. Massimo Luongo. Obviously, he's coming in to, I would say, replace George Savile. So obviously, I think the plan for George Savile was that they would pay him less money and he would play less games. He would effectively, be a bit part player, really. And he didn't really fancy that, and he's gone off to Luton to probably win League One, because I think Luton are very strong. And so now we have trying to replace him with Massimo Luongo, which is interesting. He's currently 32 years old. He's going to be 33 in a month, so has his legs gone? Now, he used to be a goal-scoring midfielder. He's now like a defensive midfielder, so much like George Savile. He's kind of gone backwards through the middle of the midfield as he's got older. What are we looking at? So this is him last season. This is what he did last season. So they said he played in 11 Premier League games. Well, yeah, but he started 2, and he came on as a sub in 9. He only had 197 minutes in the Premier League. But how many of our players have played in the Premier League? Not that many. Was it Tanganga? Anyone else? I don't think so. So, yeah. He came on as a sub in the League Cup, played 55 minutes. And he started 2 FA Cup games and came on as a sub in the other one. So all in all, last season he had 252 minutes of football. So again, now is he going to be the third choice player, the third choice central midfielder who goes on the bench? And that's probably, now here's the thing, that's probably why they haven't automatically signed him. That they want to see how his engine is. Can he still run around? And we'll see about that. If they sign him, they sign him. If they don't, they don't. Interesting that he got leaked out. I imagine the club probably would have wanted it not to do that if they weren't close to signing him, or even, probably even had it in their minds that they would be signing him. Obviously, if you go on trial somewhere and it gets announced that you've had a trial, and then the trial doesn't go well, everyone else is going to be thinking, well, why didn't they want you? What was wrong? Why didn't the trial go well? So yeah, it's not ideal for the footballer himself, but if we're doing it, we're doing it. So we wait to see. Obviously, you would imagine, in terms of experience and quality, that he's probably better than Danny Kelly's, better than Alfie Massey in that middle of the park. But then, and he does have Premier League experience. He's played in the World Cups. Could he pass some knowledge on to those players? I don't know. Is he doing his badges at the moment? Does he want to do his badges? So, having a player who's a quality, a top professional, not the worst of things, really, So they're saying his strengths is aerial duels and tackling, but to be honest, when you've played so little football, like the stats don't really tell you much. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of skewed by what he has and hasn't played. If we move on to this, and we can see this is his career. 4 years at QPR. So he's been in London before. He started out at Tottenham as a junior. He's had 4 seasons at QPR. Scored 6 goals in the season, one season. So, and most of his games have been in the Championship. But when he did drop down to League One, he was very good. He got a rating in League One of 7.15 for Sheffield Wednesday and 7.25 for Ipswich. So, that's a very pretty good. And then he comes back in the Championship with Ipswich. They go straight back up to the Premier League. 197 minutes in the Premier League, a rating of 6.05. Again, you can't really take much from that because he didn't play. And a lot of these subs, he played 9 sub appearances. So that's going to skew the rating because, you know, if you're coming as a sub, you don't really get a decent score unless you score a goal or get an assist or something like that. So obviously not much to go on. So that's his career. And if we click on this, these are the matches that he played last season. So he was involved in the 6-0 thrashing by Man City, the 4-1 defeat away at Man City, the 2-2 draw where they lost, I assume that's on penalties or after extra time. Well, it must have been on penalties because it's still a draw. Against Wimbledon, and he came on as a sub in the League Cup, 24 minutes. But here's the thing. So if the start of the season in August, 17th of August, 24th of August. Now remember, the transfer window closes in September, 1st of September. So this is before the transfer window closes. So it looks like they started him against Liverpool, Man City, because he played 65 minutes, 72 minutes. So they gave him a go, said, well, let's give him a go, see what we can do. Maybe, he won't be outclassed, but by this time he would have been 31 years old. And he gets a rating of 6.14 in 65 minutes against Liverpool. And then in the Man City defeat, he gets a rating of 5.87. And then after that, it looks like he doesn't start in the league again. He just plays a bit part. So they probably decided, he's not really at this level. Don't think we can use him. Now, did they try to move him on? Did they just have him around the squad? I imagine his contract was up at the end of the season. Not really much. You might as well just wait for it to run out. I guess they did start him in the FA Cup against Bristol Rovers, which they won 3-0. And it looks like they started again in the FA Cup against Nottingham Forest, which they lost on penalties. He played 67 minutes and got a yellow card. But, after August in the Premier League, he's barely played. He's played 6 minutes, 0 minutes. So he come on as literally right at the end of the game. To time waste, it looks like, because that was a game they beat Tottenham 2-1. 26 minutes against Man City, 22 minutes against Coventry in the FA Cup, 10 minutes against Villa. So, and then right at the end of the season, they gave him an old pity 2 minutes, final game of the season, 2 minutes against West Ham, to basically say goodbye and clap to the cloud. So what are we getting? I don't know. I imagine, like I said, that's why they're probably looking at him in training rather than just automatically signing him. They're like, oh, you haven't played much. You still got it. You still got it, lad. You still got it. So, we'll wait to see if they do actually sign him or not. But Massimo Luongo, will he play tomorrow? We don't know. I don't know. Why do I keep asking? I don't know. Now, moving on to this. Again, Alex Neil, here we go. southernnews.co.uk. I think this is a bit of a long one, so if you're one of those who don't like the accents, get ready to skip, because here we go. Millwall boss, we are not actively looking to try and sell anyone. Too right, mate. Alex Neil said that Millwall were not actively looking to try and sell anyone this summer and insisted the club wanted to retain its best players. Yes, of course you do. There have been a number of reports suggesting various clubs are interested in signing Mihailo Ivanovic, who was the Lions' top scorer last season, and Jafet Tanganga, who won the Millwall Sports Club 24-25 Player of the Season award. Now, obviously, that award carries a bit of a curse. So, get ready for Jafet Tanganga to probably break his leg in the first game of this season. That's the kind of thing that happens. When asked if he expects Tanganga to still be at the football club come the start of the season, Neil said, I hope so. I don't think there's anything at the moment that suggests otherwise for us. I know there's a lot of speculation, as there always is, whether it be with Jafet or whether it be with Mahalo, or whether it be with anybody else. There's always a little bit that doing around, but we're focused on trying to be the best version of ourselves in terms of making sure we try and retain our best players. But as always, we're not naive. We're not actively looking to try and sell anyone. And we want to try and retain the squad, and we want to try and grow and build and be good this season. Equally, if somebody comes in with offers that are way beyond what we would maybe have as an evaluation of a player, then certainly decisions may well get made. But that's understandable. That goes for any club, and it goes for clubs like Liverpool with Trent Alexander-Arnold is leaving and all that sort of stuff. So this isn't exclusive to Millwall, by the way. What I will tell you is that we have no ambitions or certainly no effort in going into trying to move any of our players. We want to keep them here, and we like them. We think they've got real growth in terms of them individually, but also us as a team. And we want to try and make sure that this year is a good year for us. When asked if a mind-blowing offer had come in, they'll say, "Oh no, I don't really read too much, but I need to make myself aware when things are getting talked about." All I would say is don't believe everything you read. There's a lot just sort of speculation of people putting things out there that haven't got any sort of fact behind it. Don't be a ballad. Get to fuck. Yeah. Said this at the time. Mihailo Ivanovic signs with new agents, and then exactly the day after, just constant shit gets pumped out to these, transfer mill websites that are pumping out this stuff. Of course, it's the new agents. Now, here's the thing. They pump this stuff out there, whether it's true, whether the agents are going to clubs and pimping out Mihailo trying to get a transfer, or whether they're just putting the name out there, because, obviously a bit of PR. Who is Mihailo Ivanovic? Does anyone know? Do you know? Now, obviously, if you work in football, you probably know. But, you want to get some buzz around the name. You want to get, people to understand. Okay, who's that? Oh, it's that guy. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you try and name like 10 strikers in the Championship right now, could you do it? Could you do it without looking it up? Just off the top of your head? And that's what they're trying to do as well, Even if they're not actively, trying to sell him, you want to get these players out there. And you want to get the name out there so that it's in people's minds. Oh, okay. That's who that is. So, there you go. Now, we got some pictures from training in Spain. This is from yesterday. They flew out on Sunday and they started training straight away. And why not? They did more training today. So yeah, this is from millfc.co.uk. Day 1 in Spain. The Lions are out on the grass. Is it grass or is it AstroTurf? In the warm Murcia sunshine on Sunday, as they geared up for Tuesday night's pre-season friendly against Northampton Town at the Pinatar Arena. Take a look at the gallery of pictures below! ! So there you go. Edomo, Adam Mayer. That's what he looks like if you've never seen him before. Casper Denor, Josh Coburn, Jake Cooper. What is that? What the fuck has he got on his arm? Is that Arabic? What? Arabic with Roman numerals underneath. Okay, has he converted? Jeffet Tanganga, Luke Gundle. He's got the Illuminati sign on his arm. Uh-oh, got to watch out for him. That's Beaumont behind him. Is George Beaumont. George Beaumont, yeah. There's a whole host of players there. Can you see Massimo? Is that Massimo there? Can we see him? Luke Gundle. It's basically the same picture as before. Massi and Ivanovic, very dialed in, focused. Tristan Kramer. Tanganga, Wes Harding, Drake, Kamal Grant, Emaku, Massi, Emaku. Oh, that's background. So there you go. Working hard in Spain. And I do wonder, when they went to sleep Sunday night, did they feel the earth move? Apparently there's an earthquake out there. Earthquake chaos at Spain holiday hotspots. 5.5 quake shakes buildings in over 50 towns. Now you can see Murcia is just on the edge of the danger zone, the impact zone. So maybe they didn't feel anything out that way. But yeah, so 5.5 is not that big. But I do think Malaga Airport. I'm not sure if it's Malaga Airport or one of them. I'm not going to read it. It's just to show you what was happening out there. Obviously, we had the race riots 20 miles up the road. What's new? And now we've got an earthquake. It's the end of the world. And I feel fine. Yeah, I think Malaga Airport, the thing, yeah. Airport roof collapses as Spain hit by powerful earthquake. Uh-oh. So, yeah, there you go. Now, tomorrow, Millwall versus Northampton Town. Big game. Isn't no, not really. Here's the thing though, like, we haven't got any new players really, have we? Like, we have just the goalkeeper. That's the only new player, Max Gacom. We've got some youngsters that maybe some of you haven't seen before. I've seen them before because I watch a lot of under 21s, both in person and on the Millwall TV. So, what excitement is there? There's no like, oh, we signed this player who's supposed to be really good. Let's see how good he is. And it's Northampton Town. So Mill will take on Northampton Town in a pre-season friendly at the Pinatar Arena in Spain on Tuesday night. Kick-off 7 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. British time. The fixture acts as the first of two matches across the week, with La Liga side Elche CF to follow on Friday morning. Alex Neil will utilise his squad once more against the Cobblers. So there you go. Again, double bubble, 11 and 11, change the players out. With many of the Lions squad set to feature as the Sky Bet League One side provide the opposition. Again, this is a League One side. League One Wes, yes. So I would suspect that some of our under 21s, if you think that this is their level, a lot of people saying George Evans should go out on loan to League One. Well, let's see how good he is against the League One team. So there you go. Mill supporters are able to attend the fixture at Pinatar Arena with tickets and further information on sale at the link below, which takes you to the Pinatar Arena website, to their ticket or sales website, and it costs €15 for an adult, €5 for a child. If you're unable to make it to the stadium, you can stream the fixture on Millwall TV for £5.99. So they've jacked it up to 99 pence, with details on how to purchase below. Yeah, again, this is it's the second pre-season friendly of the new season. There's going to be massive changes. Now, obviously, I'm going to buy a match pass and I'm going to watch it. But if you decided not to spend your $5.99 and buy a expensive pint of beer rather than watch this, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, there's not much excitement here, is there? So, damn. Unless it gets a bit feisty on the pitch. Now, why would it do that? Well, I've got to tell you about Northampton. They had a little bit of a set two at the weekend. So, Norwich defender left with bloodied head and pulled apart from Made in Chelsea star's husband in pre-season friendly. Ooh, what's this about? This is from the sun.co.uk. So Norwich star Brad Hills was left with a bloodied head after scuffling with Northampton's Cameron McGeehan in a pre-season friendly, quotation marks. The two men came to blows in Saturday's pre-season clash, which Norwich won 3-1. That's a marker as well. So we're trying to get in the Championship playoffs. Norwich is trying to get in the Championship playoffs. If Norwich can beat Northampton 3-1, what are we going to do against Northampton? Again, it's not really the same. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of youth players involved. But can we beat them 3-1 or better? We'll see. So here you go. Here's the pictures. Look at this. You see you, Jimmy. Have some of that. By the way. So, Hills and McGeehan, who is married to Made in Chelsea stars Tiffany Watson, clashed after colliding heads with each other while duelling in the air for a loose ball. Neither are happy as Hills, 21, came off the worst of a bloodied bonce. He and McGeehan, 30, both received treatment from medics as the game came to a halt. But a furious shoving match then ensued as the rivals came close to blows. Hills and McGeehan were quickly separated to prevent the scrap from becoming an all-out brawl, and fans didn't waste any time reacting to the battle on social media. Who cares? That's his bird, apparently. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. He was actually the guy who from Northampton came through at Norwich, but he didn't play a first-team game for them. So, there you go. Northampton Town, apparently they're I like a bit of fisticuffs. That should liven up the game tomorrow. As mentioned, you can watch the game versus Northampton Town on Millwall TV. It's $5.99. You need to buy a match pass. If you didn't, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I would imagine it'd probably save you money for the Elche game. But then again, that's in the morning. That's 9:30 a.m. So maybe this is the only one you can watch live. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Now, moving on to this. Millwall are hiring a social media manager. From millfc.co.uk. Yes, as social media manager, the role holder will be responsible for developing and delivering a comprehensive social media strategy that aligns with the club's values, brands and objectives. The social media manager will lead the creation and curation of compelling content, manage daily interactions with fans and play a vital role in growing Millwall Football Club's online presence. For a full job description, see below. You've got to fill in the application form. And it closes on the 28th of July. Monday, July the 28th. So 2 weeks away. Let's have a look, shall we? Social media manager, responsible to the director of communications, salary, competitive, plus benefits. It is located at the Millwall Football Club training ground at Calmont Road. So that's interesting. Why is that interesting? So, apparently, they've put in a load of stuff at Calmont Road, which they didn't get planning permission for, so I hope they haven't fucked that up, by the way. Because they had to get planning permission to put the original one in, the porter cabin, so I don't know what they're doing now. If they fucked up and they have to fucking undo it all, they're going to be a laughing stock, but it looks like the offices at the Den have been removed, turned into more hospitality, and they've moved the offices to Calmont Road, I presume, because just to do that, but also because the traffic to get into London is so fucking shit in the mornings, and you were getting these people having to drive all the way. I presume most of them live out that way or live even further out in towards Kent, and you've got to drive all the way to fucking Ilden Road, which is closed off again because they're building a fucking cycleway. It's not going to be open until October, by the way. The roadworks are going to last until the 30th of September, and they're putting in like a cycle crossing, the one that they got further up the way near Trafalgar Avenue. So yeah, I imagine traffic was so bad that they've undertook to move the offices to porter cabins at Calmont Road rather than at the ground, the Den. So there you go. So they've put a little bit of history, because I imagine they expect how many Millwall fans are going to be social media managers, because they want someone who's done this job before for quite some time, by the way. You want to get the job, you need experience. But you can't get a job if you don't have experience. Oh my God, it's a vicious circle. As social media manager, you will be responsible for developing and delivering a comprehensive social media strategy that aligns with the club's values, brands and objectives. You will lead the creation and curation of compelling content, manage daily interactions with fans. Well, be careful with that, by the way. And play a vital role in growing Millwall Football Club's online presence. The role includes, but is not limited to, develop and implement a social media strategy to increase engagement, grow followers, and enhance brand visibility across platforms. Millwall TV, so producing in-house content. X, formerly Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So that's a hell of a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Plan and execute content calendars in line with the club's communications, marketing campaigns, and match day activities. Yeah, you've got things that you need to do, and you need to do them at a certain time. Especially next season, the club's going to have to put out a load of stuff about, load of fucking woke stuff and shit like that. It's literally mandated. I told you about it in a previous video. They're on secret double probation from the FA. Create engaging on-brand written and visual content for all social media platforms. Work closely with the marketing team to produce graphics, videos, and real-time matchday coverage. Be aware of the latest social trends, platform tools, and emerging platforms to help inform Millwall's social strategies. Track key performance indicators and analytics to evaluate content performance. Produce monthly reports with actionable insights to inform content and engagement strategies. Monitor online sentiment and provide regular reports to the communications and marketing team. Oh, yeah. All the fans are not happy. Oh, I posted this thing and the fans were not happy. I can tell you. Yeah, there's so many moany bastards especially on X. So much so that like there's like a growing band of people that like, whenever people start moaning, just out of nowhere, that there's like a brand of people that just respond to them in the opposite, just to counteract them. It's so like nutty. Liaise with players, coaching staff, and departments across the club to create behind-the-scenes content and promotional material. Which I know there was a thing on X the other day, a little video that they had a woman doing it. I imagine she's one of the office staff that now works at Calman Road. Used to work at the Den, and she was filming the players coming in to training, out of their cars, out of the car park, and she said, "Oh, on your way to Spain, who don't you want to sit next to on the plane?" So a lot of them said Jake Q because he's a tall bastard. Some said Ado Amaku because he's annoying. And someone said something. Oh, Ryan Leonard, and then they said, oh, and then she would say, who do you not want to sit next to? And then they would answer, and they said, oh, well, why is that? And then they would, oh, what? And then you could see in their eyes, they were like, their brains were clicking over, like, well, what am I going to say? And then someone says Brian Leonard, and then she said, well, why is that? And then he said, he knows. Ask him, he knows. I don't know what that was about. No idea what that was about. I think maybe he was just joking, but collaborate with commercial partners and sponsors on co-branded content and campaigns. So we had this last year, like the Marguava stuff. There was a bit of that stuff around. Oversee coverage during home and away matches, including pre-match build-up, in-game updates, and post-match content. So live tweeting the game and stuff like that. Now, this is what they want you to have. 3 years of experience managing social media channels in a professional setting, ideally in sport. Strong knowledge of all major social platforms, trends, and best practices. Excellent writing, grammar, and storytelling skills. Proficiency in content creation tools, Adobe Creative Suite or similar. Ability to work flexible hours, including evenings, weekends, and match days. A deep understanding of football culture and the values of Millwall. And a valid UK driving licence. And then it says experience with photography, videography, and conducting interviews is, desired. And knowledge of social media analytic tools, Sprout, Hootsuite, Meta Business Suite. So there you go. I think a lot of people, think that they could do this job. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, I could do that. It's fucking easy, isn't it? But it ain't really, and it has kind of propped up out of nowhere, like. But the thing is, though, especially on X and other places, the accounts that are kind of standing out and kind of like popping off a bit, they're on the edge a little bit. So, like, you can't really, like, if Millwall's X account wants to go off on, like, posting about Jews or something like that, yeah, you know how they go, then it's going to pop off, but you don't want to really be doing that kind of things, you know what I mean? But you got to be edgy, and if you're not edgy, you're just kind of boring. So, like, yeah. But, there you go. If you know someone who's already been in this job for 3 years, there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.